Welcome to the T's podcast. My name is Clark, the financial credit coach, and I will be bringing you information acquired through first-hand experiences in order to help you increase your credit score, reduce interest rates, increase savings, and eliminate debts. Doing it for the community, from the community, and by community I mean any and everyone who wants to learn and evolve. So let's get right into it. What I wish I knew in my 20s. Oh man, I'm now 38 years old, okay? I know I don't look like it, but yeah, 38. And man, my 20s was fun. Wild times. I made so many mistakes. I learned so many lessons, but I don't think that any of that is a negative thing. I think it all brought me to where I was and brought me to where I am, and I enjoy that. But when I say this episode is very special to me, it's because it's literally a thought I have all the time, and it tears me into two directions because on one side, I always believe that your journey makes you who you are. So looking back with regret is, in my vision, a waste of time, right? Like, you can't change the past, so you might as well learn from it and apply changes in your present life in order to make a better future. But even with that said, I can't help but think, I wish I knew in my 20s what I knew in my 30s. A few of those things include the value of saving money, while my credit is extremely important, and really learning to value my time and space by surrounding myself with like-minded people. This is not at all a shot at my peoples I hung with in my 20s that they really helped shape me and was part of my growth, but it's more about the time spent indulging in non-productive activities. That was at an all-time high for me. And if I could just cut back 15% of that and put it into learning about trading stocks, or even in learning a different trade to diversify my skill sets early on, man, like, let me list a few different things. Let me list a few things in different categories, actually, I would want to know or want to have known in my 20s. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this as well. On the personal side, I entertained a lot of wrong people simply because I was bored. I didn't have anything better to do, so I didn't have nothing to do with my time other than work and enjoy. I didn't really have big goals I was enjoying, right? So, again, no shade, no regrets, but looking back, I can see clearly how that was not the most productive way to spend my time. If I knew then what I knew now, I would base my relationships, friendships, etc. on a different criteria. Because reality is, as you mature, you realize what you consider a friend is. And actually an acquaintance that you elevated to a friend is actually only because it was convenient. On the personal side, I entertained a lot of wrong people simply because I was bored. I didn't have better things to do. That's probably the main focus I can say on the personal side. Now, work. I spent a lot of my 20s working for companies and being happy with making lots of money, had a lot of six-figure jobs, but I sacrificed all my time. At some point in time, I worked 2 jobs at the same time. I had my day job, then I worked security at the nightclubs at night, and I would be working 15-hour days, 2 to 3 days a week, and partying in between, and the least important thing to me was sleep. Well, now in my 30s, my sleep is everything. I cherish sleep like food, and I love me some food, you know? But, like, as far as my free time goes, I just spent it recovering from partying, recovering from working too much. So it wasn't really free time, right? So even though it did financially bring me a lot of gains, but it also took away time I could have been using to develop more business ventures, which would have led to me maybe finding more success earlier on. And even if it didn't, it would have brought me the experiences I needed to apply later on in life. So because I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have a Clark in my life, I just kind of lived. Health. Let's talk about that, because now I understand the value of health in my late 30s. I was in love with basketball, man. Like, at some point in time, for about 4 to 5 years in my 20s, I would spend my Friday nights playing basketball at Park X. People in Montreal, y'all know what's up. Friday nights at Park X was everything. While everyone was getting ready to go party at 9 p.m., I was getting dressed to go to the gym and play ball with tons of people. And we played till 1 a.m. at most nights. Now thinking back on it, I'm like, wow, that was wild. Especially since I can say that I did not miss out on much partying, because literally I went out all the time. And I was known in Montreal for my presence in the club. Like me and the boys, my team, like it was an epic time. We enjoyed. And it was a big family reunion for us every weekend for over a decade when we were young. But when we weren't clubbing, we were playing ball. And that was our life. But all the drinking late nights till 3 a.m., then getting up early to go play ball, hung over most of the time on a Sunday morning, then going home, showering, eating, then going back out to Tokyo Sundays, and repeating the process till 3 a.m., and then going to work on Monday morning at 9 a.m., hung over. It eventually caught up to me in my 30s. Now, if you invite me to go out anywhere past 9 p.m., good luck. It's reality. And if I don't attend by 11 p.m. to something, just forget it. And if I'm in a club or I'm in a venue, by midnight I'm yawning and I'm ready to go home. That's just the reality of it. I'm tired. It is what it is. I sometimes wondered, why am I like this now? And after getting a full checkup at the doctor's, I was told I'm good. I'm in great shape physically, as per the doctor. I'm just getting old. That offended me. I'm like, I'm not old. I am not old. I can still go hang out with the boys and be out till 3 a.m. Watch this. I tried it. And wow, what a fail. I made it to 3 a.m., but the next 3 days was hung over. I had ate junk food to soak up the alcohol, didn't work out, even my work productivity took a hit. And that's when I knew I was done. So my health took a back seat to fun, but it wasn't fun at all. Feeling like my health changes and everything was changed mentally. My body was okay, but mentally I was tired. So, all to say, this is why you only catch me at day parties, because by 8 p.m. I want to be home with my wife and daughter and getting ready for bed. You're not going to really catch me out unless it's a rare occasion. Family. This is the last one I'm going to talk about, but this one's important. My all-time favorite male figure growing up was my Uncle Emil. Uncle Emil, since I was a kid, would come down to Florida and he would take me to the swap shop and to the malls, and we hung out. He was like that super cool hip uncle with the fanny pack. But as a young kid, I was like, wow, he is super cool. As I grew older, I didn't keep in touch as much as I should have. Like, I really should have done more. But like any teenager, I didn't value the relationship because I didn't understand that it wasn't forever. Well, last year I had to attend his funeral. I met my cousins, who I had never face-to-face met, and it was moving to see how much of him was instilled in them. And it made me realize I should have spent more time in my 20s connecting with family and just bonding. I filled my life with what I could provide for myself. And my comfort was knowing that if I'm in control of what I entertain, then my peace isn't at risk, right? And I think if I knew now, or should I knew in my 20s what I knew now, I would have invested more time in the family. Growing up alone changes things. It was just me and my mother, right? So it's hard to integrate change when you've done everything for yourself. But I do feel it's important. So I wanted to share that message today. And I want people to understand that it's never too late unless you decide it is. So make the changes. Mental health. Lastly, but most importantly, is mental health. I got to talk about that. As Black men, we are warriors. We need to show weakness. We never show vulnerability. We are born to work and provide. But what we forget is providing also includes ourselves. And we need to learn to communicate. We need to learn to communicate what we're going through with people. We trust people, but in order to trust and have the support we need, we have to be able to communicate with them. Like, we miss most of the time. Like, I would say the support that we miss most of the time comes from home, right? So in my 30s, what I know now and what I have become is exactly what I needed in my 20s. Father, a husband, a mentor, a leader, and someone young men can look up to and say, I want to be like him. He is from where I'm from, and he's been through what I'm living, and he made it through it, and he's still learning openly today, daily. And more importantly, he's not afraid to admit it. So I'm enjoying my flaws. I'm enjoying my journey, and I'm really happy that you guys can join me on this journey with the Royal Ties podcast. And as the financial coach, I'm really, really enjoying the fact that I get to work with the youth, adults, even elderly people, to give them the opportunity to say, hey, I have somebody. My name is Clark, the financial credit coach. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm happy to open up and give you guys a personal piece of me. I hope you enjoy it. And if you have some feedback, leave some comments, send some messages. I'm here. Let's get it. My name is Clark, the financial coach, and my motto is simple: pay attention or pay for lack of attention. Please follow me at Clark, the financial coach on Instagram.